buenos días.
Buenas tardes, buenas noches.
Welcome to Cafecito and Crime. This is Barb.
This is Estella.
And today we have a episode coming from the one and only Estella.
Yes, me. Yo soy. That's me.
That's you?
That's me. That's my name.
No idea.
Yeah.
But so go ahead and get your coffee.
And let's get started.
Wow. That was stupid. Anyway, so you are brought today by the...
We are brought
today.
It is brought to you. What?
How do you say it? We are bringing you today. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
What were we trying to say?
We have our Christmas tree up today.
Yeah, it's a little itty bitty mini.
Hey, you know what?
It gets the job done.
It gets the job done. Yeah. Not only that, It's on. It has lights.
Posted a picture on Instagram, Cafecito and Crime Instagram. You can see it.
If y'all want to come over.
With our little tazas de Christmassy themed.
We have tazas and we went to go Christmas coffee, to go get Christmas coffee from our local
espresso
stand.
I got what I got is the gingerbread man. I forgot what it had. It had cinnamon and something else. Gingerbread, something. I don't know what else.
Mine is called Naughty and Nice, and it has gingerbread and peppermint.
Is it peppermint tea?
No, it's actually really good peppermint tea. It's not like fake peppermint. It's really good. And this was the first time that we took my husband there, and he got a sugar-free latte. Se cree bien pinche...
Is he healthy?
Healthy and stuff.
Whatever. Okay, but let's get started.
Yes.
Okay, so today's case takes place in South Carolina.
Oh, South Carolina.
Teen Myrtle Beach.
What? What did you just say?
Myrtle Beach.
Murder Beach. Wow.
What did I say, bitch?
Myrtle Beach?
Barbie's face was like, did you just call me what?
What? I mean, she calls me a bitch all the time. No hay pedo, whatever makes her happy, pero...
She just wasn't expecting
I wasn't expecting that. Me estaba rascando la nariz and shit, y esta pinche vieja con tu bitch. I'm like, what bitch?
Why?
Wait a minute, let me call you bitch after, or whatever.
Sorry about that.
Yes, ma'am.
So we hadn't been in South Carolina before. It's the first time.
That's what I was about to say.
Es que, ¿sabes qué?
Okay.
We had been like ping-ponging back and forth between fucking Florida and California. I don't know if you noticed that.
I did. And you know what? The case that I was working on one of them that I looked at was in California. And I really was like, maybe I shouldn't do. I'm
not
sorry.
That matters. It doesn't matter, honestly.
It doesn't matter.
We just,
yeah. I guess it's just because we want to do something.
From all over the place, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean,
for a little bit, I really wanted to stay in Texas. Yeah. But it's going to be in North Carolina? South Carolina.
South Carolina. Okay. See, South Carolina. Sorry.
Dude, I didn't like North and South Carolina. Like, I wonder if there's a difference. Like, I'm from North Carolina, but you're from South Carolina. So is there a difference? I wonder. I'm just saying.
What do you mean?
Like, you know how people from the South are different from people from the North of the United States? Like, I wonder if, I don't know.
Did you take your ADHD medicine?
I did not.
Okay.
So go ahead.
The fun fact about Myrtle Beach.
You know
what that reminded me of? Did you ever? Well, I'm sure you did. Did you ever? I'm sorry, a little side story here, pero my wife and kids.
Yeah, my best show of all time.
Michael was going to go golfing. Y esta, I forgot her name. What was her name? Her name in the show.
Claire?
No, la mamá.
I don't remember her name. I know it. All I remember is Gina.
Gina from Martin.
Yeah, from Martin. Mm-hmm.
Pero and I think she was kind of like, estaba enojada because he was going to go golfing. So she would say Myrtle Beach. She would like make the emphasis on the beach.
You know what reminds me when we say that? I don't know if you remember back in the day.
Or I don't know if it was Myrtle Beach where he was going to, but it had like a beach on it. So she would like enunciate that.
I don't know if y'all remember Cribs. From back
MTV
in the day.
The real MTV Cribs.
The real MTV Cribs. So back in the day, one of the episodes before Don Omar actually was like out there. Big. He actually said something about if you don't have a coconut in the beach, you're not in the beach. And he says, if you don't have a coconut in the beach, you're not in the beach. So that's what it reminded me of. But anyway, okay. So enough about coconuts and beaches.
And beaches. So the fun fact about Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, is that the world's biggest living cat lives in Myrtle Beach. And his name is Hercules, and he is a liger.
You know what? I don't know about this fun fact.
Which liger is the offspring of a female tiger and a male lion. And Hercules, he's a big boy. He's 922 pounds.
¿Qué?
He is almost 11 feet long and stands at about 6 feet tall. He's a thick, big boy. Bitch. I saw this video out because he's kept in like it's called the Myrtle Beach Safari, which is kind of like a rescue for like animals and stuff, like a habitat. Y ahí lo cuidan. And I was watching like a YouTube video. They were like walking him and shit.
Walking him on a leash.
On a leash.
No mames. He's 900 pounds, bitch.
He's ginormous, but he's so chill because I think he has the characteristics of, I think, the lion that are just a little bit more mellow compared to like a tiger. And I was like,
yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, we're gonna not to be feeding the fucking liger.
And so ligers are usually not found in the wild because they normally wouldn't cross paths because tigers are in Asia and lions are in Africa. So these are just, they're bred and they're kept in, like zoos and like I said, like rescue places. For what reason, I don't know.
Okay, National Geographic.
Yeah, but I was like, you know what? Let me show you fucking Hercules real quick.
First of all, his name is Hercules.
That should tell you something.
And then not only that,
right off the bat.
I'm going to say like my son says, he's thick with all the C's. All the C's, about 5 C's right there.
No, 900 C's.
Fuck, man. That's a big fucking cat. I was thinking like my dog or something. My dog Computer is what, 100 pounds? He's 100 pounds. Right now, he's probably 150 because his ass is fat.
He's not fat.
Yeah, he's fat.
No, he's not.
Compared to where he's supposed to be, he's fat.
Yeah.
He's a thick boy.
He's a thick boy. It's a little thick, little scaredy cat. Pit bull.
Pit bull mixed with, I don't know what the fuck else. A squirrel. He's a pit squirrel. For real. Like he literally, but I think squirrels are a lot more ferocious than my dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know if my listeners or our 3 listeners knew that I have a dog and his name is Computer.
We call him Pooter.
But he...
Pooter 10.
Pooter 10.
Sir Pooter 10.
Mi cosita bella.
Computy.
Mi little baby.
Fat lard.
Yeah, all of that. That's not okay. I'm looking at the video, ladies and gentlemen, of Hercules, and he is...
Mira.
No, not... That's too much. He's bigger than that man right there, Stella. No, not doing it. Look at his paws. No.
Girl. His paws are...
So does he skippity pap too, like the other cats do? Like, what the fuck? You imagine one of his skippity paps?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Do you have his dimensions?
Didn't I just give you his dimensions?
You said he's 900 pounds, and how tall is he?
About 6 feet. He can get up to about 6 feet, and he's 11 feet long.
And he's 11 feet long. And then, so imagine the size of his paw. If he skippity paps you, no.
He kills you.
He kills you if he skippity paps you. My sister got skippity pat by her cat, Rocket. Y le metió unos pinches putazos. And then she was all like, oh, he just skippity papped me? I'm like, yeah, bitch. He skippity papped you.
Hercules stays in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Yeah. I wonder what he eats.
And there's about 100 ligers in the world. But like I said, they're not in the wild. So there's also... So the second, they actually también hacen
Pinche pájaro pendejo.
I forgot the other name, but not that it matters. Anyway, let's get back to the story. That was South Carolina's Myrtle Beach. Fun fact. Hercules is there if you want to go see him.
Guys, I need y'all to look this Hercules up, like, for real.
He's a little thickum.
I mean, no, he's not thick. That motherfucker is, like, huge. Deja tú lo gordo. Estamos hablando de lo grandote que está, like, 11 feet tall. And
they're just like...
He's taller than me, bitch.
He's about your height.
Well, I'm not quite 6 feet, but he's taller than me. It's crazy.
If I see him, yo me desmayo.
Bitch, ¿qué desmayo? Me cago a la verga. Bien pinche
me desmayo y me cago while I'm shitting. Anyway, okay, let's get back to the story. So, today's case, we're going to talk about Brittanee Drexel.
Did you take your ADD medicine is my question.
I've had coffee on an empty stomach. So, Brittanee Drexel, apparently this was like a big case. I had never heard about it up until last year. That's when I started seeing it on the news. Mm-hmm. Or, started hearing about it in true crime episodes and stuff. But this case was solved this year. Apenas in 2002, and it took place in 2009.
You said 2002, and we're in 2022.
My bad. In 2022,
bitch.
About to be 2023.
In 2002, I was living the life. No bills, nothing.
Yeah. Teenager shit.
Yeah.
So Brittanee Marie Drexel was born on October 7th of 1991.
Okay. Oh my God, she was your age.
She was my age. Yeah, she would have been my age. In Rochester, New York. 2 parents, Don and John. John and Don.
No, you said John and John.
No, I said Don and John.
Wow, that's confusing.
Yeah.
Say that 5 times.
Don and John, Don and John.
No, yeah, okay, keep going.
So when she was about 2, sus papás se separaron.
Okay.
They had been very young cuando nació Brittanee. I think Dawn dijo que she was like 20. So I'm assuming John was probably like around the same age. They tried to make it work, pero they couldn't. So se separaron. And for whatever reason, doesn't really say, and I couldn't really find, not that it matters, pero John loses touch with Brittanee. And from here on out, up until later, like he's not part of her life at all. Up until like later on when she's a bit older.
Oh, I mean, you make decisions that you think are the right thing, you know, so it's okay.
So Dawn empieza a salir con otro señor. His name is Chad Drexel, whom she ends up getting married to. So Chad adoptó a Brittanee, and he raises Brittanee as his daughter.
Now that's bad bitch. That's bad bitch vibes for sure.
Y Dawn and Chad have 2 other kids together.
También.
Marissa, who was about 6 years younger than Brittanee, y Camden, who was about 12 years younger than Brittanee.
Oh, babies.
And the family of 5 lived in Chilai, New York, which is a suburb of Rochester. So
Chilai.
Chilai, and it's spelled like chili, but it's Chilai. It's pronounced Chilai.
Wow, okay.
Cuando Brittanee estaba creciendo, she was just described by her mom like a ball of energy, just like a spitfire. She always wanted to be the center of attention. Y cuando...
Oh, sounds like me.
Cuando tenía like her friends in school and stuff, just said that she was super nice and she was super friendly and super caring. Y cuando
she's from October, so
she's a Libra.
She's a Libra.
And later on in life, they said that she wanted to go into nursing or cosmetology. But I think they said that she leaned more towards cosmetology because she always had her hair different color. She always had her hair done.
Yes, girl.
In different hairstyles.
We like Brittanee already.
Her mom said that Brittanee wouldn't go anywhere without her hair and makeup being done. Like she had to have her face on and her hair did. And in school, she was very well liked. She played soccer and she was described as being little but mighty because she was fast on the field for having little legs. Because Brittanee was tiny.
She was tiny?
She was tiny. She was 5 feet and 100 pounds.
Oh my God. That's tiny. Like the size of my daughter and she's 11.
She's 11, yeah. And that she was such a good soccer player. She was unstoppable on the field. Like everybody just said that she was really good.
That's awesome.
And that actually, she had that in common with her dad, John, because John also had played soccer.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
También in high school, she had her little boyfriend. His name is John.
Ahora pinches madres, todos se llaman John.
Yeah. They were on and off, like typical teenager, teenager shit. And they had been on and off for about 2 years.
Okay.
So, but they loved each other, always came, se agarraban de la greña and they would get back together, and so on and so forth. High school shit. So at home, Brittanee, she was really close to Camden and Marissa. They're like, just, she was a good older sister.
Awesome.
Even though they had like big age gaps, especially con Camden.
Yeah.
So when around she was 16 or 17, that's when she reconnected with her dad, John, her biological father. And I'm not sure exactly how it happened, but they were obviously both very excited to, reconnect. And,
so sweet.
They had a lot to catch up on for sure. So now we're going to jump into 2009. So it was Brittanee's junior year. I think it was around 2008, 2009. Brittanee and her siblings got some really devastating news.
Oh.
Their parents told them that they were separating. So Chad and Dawn were getting a divorce.
Yeah, they were going to go separate ways.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And Brittanee took it really hard. Like emotionally, she took it really hard. Because up to that point, Brittanee had been like a really good student. She was like a good kid, en lo que cabe, and didn't get into trouble, pero she started to go like a little wild. Aquí empezó así rebelde vibes. Mm-hmm.
Dun, dun, dun.
She started to hang out with a new group of friends at school, and this new group of friends were like the rich, popular kids in school, and they were seniors. So they were like 18.
And she was younger.
And Brittanee was a junior, and she was 17.
Okay.
And this group was also known to like have always partying out at clubs.
That is so crazy to me that something could affect you emotionally that bad.
Yeah.
To where things that are going on at home, like que tus papás se están separando o que está teniendo un cambio en tu casa, can affect you so much from you already being a good student. Like you already just keep doing what you're doing. Yeah. No, pero it affects you to where you change your whole perspective in life. That's so crazy to me.
How people, handle things differently.
Everybody handles things differently. Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
También, so these, like I said, these kids were like partiers. They would party all the time. They were out at clubs and shit.
Sí.
And then Britney started to party with them también.
And then escapade. Hey. Just kidding.
El portal.
En el portal. Hey, yo fui al portal de las fantasías. I'm not gonna lie.
And she also like would stop wanting to go to school. She would skip classes and her grades started dropping.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, dude, like you, I don't know because I never had good grades, so I don't know how that feels. Pero like, you imagine like being so
like being good, like you're
good. Like you're a junior, you're almost there, you know, you just go to school, that's all you have to do. Pero un cambio como tan drástico como que
your parents
sus
separate.
papás se van a separar. Like we don't think as parents how much that affects our children. That right there is just mind-boggling to me, like crazy. But okay, go ahead.
Y también during that time that her parents were separating, her and John, cuando se agarraban de la greña, se agarraban de la greña. And I think it was just like a combination of everything going on at home and her arguing with John. That is, she took a lot of her mom's pills and she actually had to like be rushed to the hospital. I don't think she was trying to commit suicide or anything like that, but she had to have her stomach pumped. And, you know, so she just was going through a lot.
Stomach pumping sounds so scary to me.
You know what? I'm sure this is probably stupid, but I think like a plunger for the toilet.
That's
and somebody
what I
just
think.
put it in your stomach.
No, it doesn't sound stupid because that's what I think. I feel like they're like putting something in your mouth and they're pumping shit out. Like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I know I probably shouldn't think that because I mean,
you're in the medical field.
I'm in the medical field, but no, that's how I think when people are like, oh, they're going to pump my stomach. Yeah. And I'm like, are they going to get the plunger? Or like, hey, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, like I said, you know, she started, you know, she was going through a lot around that time, like early 2009, you know?
Yeah.
Now, in April, it was time, I guess they have spring break weird over there because their spring break was in April. They were off in April, like towards the end of April. And I know here in Texas, we have it in March. I don't know if that's...
I think it differs every year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so in April 2009, Britney's new group of friends or acquaintances, whatever, invited Britney to Myrtle Beach for spring break.
I hear a lot of people go to Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, from upstate, like over there.
Like that, pero I don't even know what they have. Like,
it's like a big strand. It's no.
I think that it's kind of like the Jersey Shore, no?
I guess, I don't know.
Like it tienen like games and stuff like that.
I think it's like
not games,
like Destin vibes. You know that main road, kind of like that,
okay,
but more city.
I get it. Okay.
So Britney really, really wanted to go. Like I said, she had been going through a lot. She felt like she needed an escape.
I could understand that.
You know, her relationship with John was kind of like rocky or whatever. She felt like she needed to get away.
Yeah.
So Britney le preguntó a su mom, Dawn, if she could go. Y Dawn le dice, hell no.
Hell to the no.
Yes.
Like that.
Sí, así, igualita.
Igualito.
She tells her, you know, first of all, you're too young.
Yeah.
There's going to be no parental supervision. I don't even know these kids. Te va a pasar algo. You know, a mom shit. Y pues aquella se encabronó.
Yeah.
So Britney...
17-year-old shit.
Yeah. And
or 16, whatever how old she is.
Teenager shit. Y so Dawn's like, talk to your dad. And Dawn was like, in my mind, I knew he was going to tell her no too, but she needed to hear from both of us. You know, it couldn't be one-sided, you know, because I didn't want to be like...
I don't have that. I can't relate because I'll say no and my husband says yes, so I can't relate to that shit. It pisses me the fuck off. Pero, yeah, I'm always like, go... And then he'll be like, no, well, I'll be like, hey, go ask your dad. And then they'll go ask him and then he'll be like, well, go ask your mom. I'm like, no, stop it. It's a no answer. That's it. Stop telling him to go back and forth. But anyway.
So Britney asked Chad and Chad was like, first of all, no.
Thank you.
You've been skipping class. You've been...
Como que si te portaras tan bien.
Yeah, you know?
Puerca pendeja. Like, that's exactly what mama would say.
Yeah, but...
¿Qué tienes en la cabeza? Nada. All of that.
But yeah, so Chad también le dijo que no. Y she stormed out of the house and shit. And then, you know...
She'll get over it.
John had picked her up. They went for a drive, you know, blah, blah. She needed to clear her head. So Britney, she has the mind of a master. What is it called? The mastermind. Como dice la muchacha en el video.
Yeah, a master.
Yeah.
Mastermind. El mega mind.
Mega mind. That's a good movie. So Britney's like, she tells Dawn, she was like, okay, since I can't go to Myrtle Beach, can I just go stay with one of my friends that lives in Rochester? Because, you know, they lived in Chi-Li, like right outside of Rochester. And then Dawn tells her, you know what? If I can talk to a parent, yes. You can go stay with her for what would be, you know, spring break. And then, you know, you'd come back home.
But, and right now, back in the day, it makes sense to me. Pero ahorita, the way that I feel like ¿Qué vas a ir a hacer allá? Lo mismo que estás haciendo aquí.
No, but they were going to like hang out, go to the beach,
I don't
watch
give a fuck, you
movies,
ain't
spend the
going
night with your
nowhere.
friends.
I'm sorry, but you know what I mean. I'm like, no, you can't go nowhere.
So I don't know who the fuck Brittanee puts on the phone, pero Dawn talks to somebody that she thinks is a parent. Mm-hmm. And she's like, okay, you can go. Y
también la mom, yo creo, para no pelear, para darle su lado.
You're kind of meeting halfway, right?
We're meeting halfway. Yeah. I didn't let you go over there, but I'm going to let you go here.
20 minutes away.
Is better
than,
okay,
fucking 14 hours.
I get it. Okay.
So on Wednesday, April 22nd, 2009, Brittanee gets into a car, not to go to her friend's house, 20 minutes away in Rochester, but she gets in a car.
Let me guess.
Let's take a quick break. Persons of Interest is back, and it's bigger than ever.
That scream will echo in my head for many years.
Taser! 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 She's gonna shoot!
Oi! Shot fired! Shots fired! Shots fired!
Stay out! You got a gun on you!
He had the perfect aim.
I am absolutely stressed at that point. I have no idea where my officers are.
Persons of Interest available everywhere you get your podcasts.
She went to Myrtle Beach.
No way.
Oh, shit.
No, yes, she did.
Oh man. I knew it.
She got into a car with Alana Lipa, Jennifer Oberer, Phil Oberer, who was Jennifer's brother and Alana's boyfriend, and Ugur Öztürk, who was Jennifer's boyfriend. And they drive to Myrtle Beach. And they drive overnight so they drive overnight and arrive the next morning. John didn't go.
Because John's probably like, I'm going to get my ass out of this shit.
No, Brittanee invited him, but John was like, he was like, I couldn't go. He's like, I had to work. He was like, there's no way.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, John's probably like, no, bitch, you go by yourself, take that shit by yourself.
So they drove overnight, and because it was a 14-hour drive, bitch. It was 800 miles away.
No, motherfucker. He ain't going nowhere.
And there were other people going too, besides the one that I just named. There were also Viet Wind, Louis D'Amico, Nico Chirico, Khalid Sinclair, and Anthony Humphreys.
I'm going to need you to stop it because all of those names sounded horrible.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So that's like 9 people in Brittanee, right? So it's like...
In one car?
No. Like there were...
Several cars.
But Brittanee rode with los otros cuatro primero that I named. So she was kind of like the 5th wheel in there because there were couples and then her. So everybody was older. Everybody was 18, 19, fucking 20. And Brittanee was the only 17-year-old. Because she was a junior.
She was a junior, yeah. 16, 17, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they make it to Myrtle Beach. And they check into the Bar Harbor Hotel. And it's like right on the Strand, like them, they all get ready to go out that night and they head out to a club called Club Kryptonite, like Superman and shit.
I don't know about that shit. It already sounds bad.
So the club was all the rage there. Like it was a big club. And I think when I was looking up the club, they said that it would have like all these big artists, like the Yin Yang Twins and just like...
Not the Yin Yang Twins.
The Yin Yang Twins.
Stop it right now. Yes. Yes, stop it right now because I'm playing that song in my head.
Anyways, it's close now, but when I was like...
Es que ya no fueron los Yin Yang Twins. Ya no tuvieron no more artists.
When I was online, I got on Yelp and like TripAdvisor and like a lot of reviews like around that time, like 13, 14 years ago, were saying that there were a lot of 18, 19, 20-year-olds. And I think people that went in there thought that it was going to be like an older crowd. A lot of people were like, when the hell did they start letting in a whole bunch of 18-year-olds there? So...
I mean, because they were having dance battles and shit.
A la mejor.
That's what I would do.
Well, at that club, see, that's the thing. A lot of people say that at the club, she runs into this person that she knows from Rochester. A lot of people say it's that night that they get there, but a lot of people say it's that Friday. Not that it really matters, but she ends up running into a friend from back home in Rochester. His name is Peter Brosowitz. And Peter is there with 4 of his friends.
Okay.
Keith Cummings, Philip Watson, Matthew Abrams, and Anthony Scamizzi. And, Peter and his friends were, like I said, they're in Myrtle Beach, but they were staying at a different hotel. Uh-huh. And Peter and Brittanee have been friends for some years. And back home in Rochester, he's a club promoter. Peter is, because he's 20.
Oh, he's older.
He's 20.
Okay.
So at Kryptonite, I know Brittanee's not 18; she's 17. But I guess when you're there, like you give somebody $20, they meterte, they don't care, whatever. Because she got in. And a lot of people said that Brittanee was in the VIP section con Peter, but I guess Peter kind of like knows people because he's a club promoter.
I was about to say, porque, I mean, not only is she young, not only is she not 18, not only all of that, but she's small. So you can't really say, oh, parecía que estaba más grande.
Yeah, no. She's tiny. She was really pretty. She was really pretty. I guess, I don't know if it's here, pero at the club, and this is alleged, like nobody ever like really said this is what happened, pero something happened between Brittanee and the friends that she went down there with.
A disagreement.
Kind of, like a lot of people say that she started to get alienated from the group. And
because she was
younger. Supposedly, they were partaking in some behavior que she didn't like, whether it had been drugs or
that sounds like, that happens a lot.
And Brittanee was not into that. She was like, no. She didn't like it, but like I said, nunca nadie has said anything. People that were there never confirmed or denied, so we don't know. But lo que pasa es que Brittanee starts pulling away from the group, and she kind of starts doing things on her own sola, not with the group. Like she'll go walking by herself, she'll go to the beach by herself and stuff like that. So this whole time that Brittanee's there, like I said, John was supposed to go, but he couldn't. But the whole time that she's there, they're in constant communication, texting 24/7. He knew that she was going, and he had even encouraged her to go because, like I said, she'd been having a hard time at home. He was like, yeah, it's cool. You're going to go for a couple of days, 3-4 days max. Sure. And Brittanee le dice a John, hey, things are not really so good here, kind of saying that
I guess she went thinking one thing and she ended up something other.
She was like, I didn't think it was going to be like this. John later even says that it got to the point where she was like, dude, I regret coming all together. I want to go home. Mm-hmm. She was like, I can't wait to go home.
Get on the bus, bitch.
She wouldn't make it home. And while she was there, her mom would call and check in también. So she'd find, she's talking, hey mom, we're watching movies. Hey mom, we're at the mall. Hey mom, se inventaba algo. So he would talk to Don también. Now she started kind of hanging out with Peter and his friends,
Okay.
Se iba con ellos. On Saturday, April 25th, Brittanee was at the beach with Peter in the afternoon, like 2-ish, I think, and his friends cuando Don le habló. And Don had been out buying her soccer gear because I think the season was coming back up for soccer. And I think she wanted to buy her some cleats or something like that. So le habló. And when Brittanee answered, she told him they were at the beach. Mm-hmm. And Don says that, well, we have a beach in Rochester and the weather was like in the 80s at that time. So she's like, I didn't think anything of it. I thought that beach, that it made sense that she would have been at that beach, which was 20 minutes from her house in Rochester, like in Chile. So she was like, I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, the weather was good in Rochester. It didn't seem out of the ordinary that she told me that she was at the beach, which she was at a beach, but
it wasn't the right beach. Okay.
In a different state.
Yeah.
And Dawn dice que, she talked to Brittanee and then que Brittanee le dijo, she was like, okay, mom, I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. Le dijo. Aww. Y que Don también le dijo, okay, I love you too. I'll see you tomorrow when you get home. Because this was the last day that they were supposed to be here was Saturday. They went back out the next day, el domingo, Sunday. And they hung up. And that would be the last time that Dawn would talk to her daughter.
Don't tell me that. My stomach already hurt.
Later on, en la tarde, en ese mismo día, Brittanee went to Peter's hotel.
Okay.
So they were going to go hang out. Y she walked from her hotel to his, which was about like a 1.5 mile walk, which is a 30-minute walk. When she gets to Peter's hotel room.
Wait. Regrésate poquito, wait. You're telling me that she walked 30 minutes? Mm-hmm. I mean, she's an athlete. I get it. But bitch, I'd be fucking tired sweating and shit. And it's fucking humid and shit.
Yeah, it's hot. It's hot.
Wow. There's no Ubers back then, so it's not like she could have Ubered, but still.
But that's the thing, like you say, you're there for spring break, all everybody is doing is walking, down the Strand. That's the thing,
I don't walk nowhere. I'm tired and I'm old, so fuck that shit.
Like I said, she walks to Peter's hotel room, llega, y Peter dice that they're in the room, they're watching like a baseball game. Cuando, I don't know if Brittanee gets a call or she gets a text message, pero it's Jennifer, one of the girls that she wrote down there with, y they start arguing. Something about Jennifer, se me hace que cuando Brittanee se estaba arreglando to go to Peter, se puso unos shorts de Jennifer. Y Jennifer le mandó mensaje a esta diciendo, hey, I want my shorts now. Like, now.
Even if a girl's going to take her 30 minutes to get back.
Brittanee tells Peter, she's like, you know what? I'm just going to go fucking give her the shorts. I think she said that I'm going to go give her the shorts and I'll come back. Porque no se quería juntar con aquellos. Y que nomás llegaba al hotel y se dormía. That's all she did there. Because they were still rooming together. So Brittanee se va a dejarle los shorts to Jennifer, which was around 8:15, 8:20-ish.
At night?
At night.
Okay.
And so as she was walking, she was texting John. She was like, hey, this shit's happening, blah, blah, blah. I was here, but now I have to go leave the shorts. Aquella, blah, blah, blah. Now, in Myrtle Beach, like the main boulevard that I keep talking about, it's known as the Grand Strand. And it's just like motel after hotel, you know, restaurants, blah, blah. And there's always like a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of tourists. But I mean, like a lot of people say that it's not a place that you would want a young girl walking at fucking night, you know, like there's.
Oh, yeah. And I was thinking because 8:30 or you said 8:15-ish. So by this time, I'm thinking at that time.
Se está bajando.
Se está bajando and it is daylight savings, pero ya como quiera está.
Porque Peter says that cuando ella se fue del hotel, the sun was still kind of out. He was like, it wasn't dark, but I'm sure during that walk, those 30 minutes, se baja el sol.
Se baja el sol, yeah.
Yeah. John starts, like I said, John had been texting Brittanee, and then he starts getting really worried when he doesn't hear from Brittanee, bitch, in about 20 minutes. And he says that 10 minutes went by that she didn't answer him. He knew something was wrong. 20 minutes, 30 minutes, he was like, no, bitch, something's wrong. And he says that he called her, he texted her, y no le contestaba, y le mandó un mensaje que le decía, hey, if you don't fucking answer me, le voy a hablar a tu mamá y le voy a decir dónde estás. Y nothing, no le contestó nada. Él dice that she stopped texting him like literally mid-conversation. Like they were having a conversation and ella le paró de contestar. So he ends up calling like a couple of her friends and they've asked that are still in Rochester. They're like, hey, ¿has hablado con Brittanee? I was talking to her, you know, me contesta. They're like, no. And he says that the last text message that he received from her was like around right before 9, like 8:58 or something like that.
Yeah.
By 9:20, 9:30, he calls Dawn y Marissa answers Dawn's phone. Y Marissa says that, you know, when John was... And she was 11, Marissa was 11 at the time. Y dice que cuando she answered Dawn's phone, que John was like, I need you to put your mom on the phone right now. Y que she could hear the panic in his voice. And John le dice a Dawn que Brittanee's in Myrtle Beach, and that she's not in Rochester, and that she can be reached or found.
Oh, shit. My heart would have been to my stomach, girl.
And then Dawn she was like, what? That she's where? And I mean, I can't even imagine for a parent. Like,
shit.
Nada por sí que le pase algo a tu hija, but for you to think that she's somewhere where she's not y que le pase algo being at that other place that she's not supposed to be at.
I feel like I know that my mom probably felt that way. Well, not mine, but other moms. But I really do feel like that's the worst betrayal. Like when I'd rather my daughter tell me the truth and tell me, hey, you know what? Yeah, I fucked up. Me vine pa acá, whatever. A que no me digas la verdad y luego algo te pase. And like my mom used to say, te pasa algo y yo no sé dónde estás.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know when I was like a kid, like a teenager, I know a whole bunch of times. And you always think que no te va a pasar nada. That's the thing. So. I know I told my parents I was going to be one place and I was out doing other. I
would take you to those places myself.
Yeah, and yeah. That pero you know,
I was
like
corporate.
that.
I was corporate on that.
You were what?
I was corporate. ¿Cómo se dice? Corporate?
No, that's like a
that's a corporation. No, ¿cómo se dice? I was involved in that. Así.
Yeah, you know, I was at one place, you know, and it reminds me of that meme when.
And I would be like, Estela, you know, she'd be like, oh, this, I'm gonna be here, and then I'll be like, okay, but then she would be like, we decided to go somewhere. I'm like, bitch, you told me you were going to be here, but now you're going to be here.
Your parents
like,
think you're with me.
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
And then they always thought that she was with me. And then I was lying to them because they would be like, Estela, I'm like, she's right here. And she wasn't right there.
And it's true because...
Pero es porque le estoy haciendo el paro. Pero if it was my daughter, fuck that.
Like you know? Like, you know, like, so you never mean for anything to happen, but shit happens.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of this meme that I saw. It says that when you're like, I think it's Patrick laying like in the middle of the road in fucking Bikini Bottom somewhere. It's like in the middle of nowhere like this. And it says, when your mom thinks that you're somewhere safe and you're just like in the middle of the road laying in a field somewhere.
That's like crazy, dude. For real. Like, que pinche
and you say that you're okay.
Yeah, and you're not.
Yeah,
like,
and I'm sure Dawn, she said that her heart just dropped to her stomach, you know. Bitch, like, not even if she not where she said that she was.
My fucking titties would have dropped to the floor. Like, fuck my
I mean,
heart.
It's, como he says, it's one thing que you find out that she's in Myrtle Beach, but she's okay. But now she's in Myrtle Beach and you can't
fucking find her. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Dawn called Brittanee. As soon as she hung up with John, le habló Brittanee, called her, texted her, nothing.
Nada.
So then she called John, her biological dad. Y John estaba, at that time, I don't know if he was living there, but he was in Tampa, Florida. So he says that he hit the road as soon as he could. He was closer to Myrtle Beach than Dawn was from Rochester, Chilai to South Carolina. Mm-hmm. From Tampa, it was like an 8-hour drive. And from Rochester, Chilai, it looked a 14-hour drive. So John dijo que as soon as he could, he hit the road. And Dawn got in contact con un amigo de la familia And I think he was like a Marine, and he was stationed in North Carolina, which was a 2-hour drive from Myrtle Beach. So I think this guy, she calls this guy, and he's like, "Hey, Brittany's missing. I can't file a police report," because I think she tried filing a police report from New York. They couldn't. So this family friend drove from North Carolina.
I think that should be changed.
Yeah. I don't know if it's changed now, but
I mean, like, think about it. Like, dude, I'm sure that Brittanee is not the only child that, or minor, que no le dice
does this kind of shit.
And then you call the police. I mean, I'm not saying police are bad.
No.
Pero le hablas a la policía y les dices, "Hey, my daughter's missing. Necesito ayuda," whatever it is. And they tell you, "Oh, we can't do nothing because you're," but I'm telling you, my daughter is there. She's missing, blah, blah, blah. "Oh, but we can't do nothing for you because you're not here."
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just feel like maybe that should be something changed.
No, I don't know the details of why she couldn't, but this friend had to go and file a report.
But it doesn't surprise me though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The police report gets filed, and then the next morning está Dawn con John, the boyfriend, her 2 parents, which are Brittany's grandparents, and 2 of Brittany's friends, drive to Myrtle Beach to go look for Brittanee. Y Chad, el papá, se quedó con los otros 2 niños, the Marissa and Camden. Mm-hmm. So it's April 26th cuando llegan. So it's the next day, it's Sunday. And they hit the ground running, dude. They start talking to people on the streets, asking if they've seen Brittanee, showing pictures of Brittanee. They pass out flyers. One of her friends says that, "Bitch, they tore that place up." They searched beaches, alleyways, dumpsters, empty buildings, fucking deserted buildings.
Anything that they
have. And the police also start their own investigation.
Do you have any information of them questioning the friends?
Yeah, they got a hold of the friends, the ones that she drove down there with.
Or friends, whatever.
Or acquaintances, whatever.
Yeah.
Yes, they said that they're like, no. I think they even arrived at their hotel at 10 in the morning. From that Sunday, 10 in the morning that Sunday, they were out the whole fucking night. So they're like, no, they got there like around 10 in the morning because I think they were about to check out también because they were supposed to get it back home. And they're like, no, you're like, bro, we tried reaching out to her, but we haven't been able to get a hold of her the whole night. So they were cleared because they had alibis. They were all over the place elsewhere. So that was that. And initially, like you were saying, the police thought that maybe Brittanee had run away because they said that it was like a common thing. Teenagers down in Myrtle Beach partying, they lose track of time, on and so forth. And then they talked to Dawn, how's Brittany's home life? And Dawn les dice todo lo que está pasando at home. They were separating, blah, blah, blah. But Dawn was like, she did not run away. She was like, yo conozco a mi hija. Once again. Mm-hmm. Brittanee had all these plans. She wouldn't fucking run away. She's about to be 18. Why would she run away when she's about to fucking be an adult?
Quote unquote. Well, if you're Hispanic, you're never an adult. But I'm just saying.
First of all, she loved her family. She loved her siblings.
She loved her boyfriend.
Her boyfriend, se agarraban de la greña cada ratito, but she loved John. So when the police, and it was kind of like it just kind of says a lot about Brittanee and who she was and how everyone knew how she was back home. When they searched her room, like all of her shit was there, her bags, her makeup, her flat iron, whatever. That John was like, all her shit is here. Brittanee will not leave her makeup and her hair straightener tools. So no, she did not run away. Mm-hmm. But that's just the type of person that she was. Like I said, she always had to have her hair done and her makeup done. Mm-hmm. So the police get word that Brittanee had been hanging out with Peter Brasowitz.
Okay.
The night before.
Yeah. But I think that John knew that, no?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. John knew that. Uh-huh. They're like, okay, let's go talk to Peter Brasowitz. And they go to Peter's hotel.
Yeah.
So when they get there, the employees at the hotel tell them that Peter and his friends checked out at 2 a.m. That night, which would have been April 25th night, pero la madrugada of April 26th. Yeah. Their checkouts usually until like 11. 11, yeah. They left at 2 a.m. Packed their shit and left.
Which is kind of strange.
Right. It's kind of sus, right?
A little bit, yeah.
When they reach out to Peter, as soon as they could, they find out that he has a lawyer.
Oh, already?
Yeah.
Okay, Peter, I see you.
I guess that Peter, this is what I gathered, that, it's a 14-hour drive back to Rochester. In that drive, somebody let him know, hey, Brittany's missing. And he probably was like, fuck, they're going to think I did something because I was the last one that saw her. If we really want to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess when he got home, he told his parents and they got him a lawyer. Immediately. A criminal defense attorney. Which, if you think about it, it's smart. It's a smart thing to do.
It's a smart thing to do, but it just does make you look guilty.
Yeah. Or it makes you look like you were involved somehow.
Yeah.
Not necessarily guilty.
Not necessarily guilty. You're right. But what I'm saying is like, it doesn't look okay, you got a lawyer. Like, good job. No, like,
it just makes you look sus.
Since you were the last person to see her, obviously. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Back in Myrtle Beach, the police have started to retrace Brittaney's steps from the night, the 25th. And a traffic camera caught Brittanee walking in the direction of the Blue Water Resort Hotel, which was Peter's hotel, like around 8:15. So that was when she was making her way there. And she was texting. You can see her like this she was fucking to her phone. And it was verified that Brittanee was texting Peter, asking her how to get to the Blue Water Resort. And then they checked the cameras of that resort. And you see Brittanee walking into the hotel because she got there, right?
Yeah.
And then you see her leave not long after. Cuando le habló Jennifer que le iba a regresar los pinches chores. So you see her leave. But the thing is that you never see Brittanee cross that traffic camera that caught her coming. So she never made it back again to that camera walking back to her hotel.
Yeah, and if you don't know where the hell you're going...
No, she knew where she was going.
But I'm saying, if you're out there, like, walking, you're going to take the same route.
Right. And that's the thing. You just go straight.
Yeah.
It's a strand.
It's a strand,
It's a strand.
Uh-huh. So she never walked in front of that camera again.
The traffic camera again.
Okay.
So the police did the mapping or whatever, and from, I guess where the camera would catch her was right between, like, the middle way of the hotels.
Okay.
So it would have taken her from the Blue Water Resort to get to that traffic camera. Le hubiera tomado 15 minutes. So something happened from there to before she would have gone to the camera within 15 minutes.
Within 15 minutes of her leaving the hotel room?
Yeah, the hotel. Yeah, the
Blue Water Resort. Okay.
So Brittanee's phone becomes like a big part of the investigation, like the pings of the towers and cell phone data and all of that stuff.
And because she was such a good texter, she would text
on her phone.
Yeah,
all the time. So since Peter was one of the last people to see her, he obviously became a person of interest, but later gets cleared because even though he get a lawyer, he did talk to police with his lawyer present. So he ¿cómo se dice?
He cooperated.
With the Popo. And he told police that the reason why they left in La Madrugada of April 26th, is because one of the moms of his friends told him that he needed to get back ASAP. And after that story was followed up, it came out that it was true. Like, people corroborated that story. I mean, besides that being corroborated, they never see Peter or anybody follow her out of the hotel. You know, you would have seen somebody follow her. Si le hicieron algo, you wouldn't have seen it on camera.
Yeah.
But none of that ever popped up.
Stopped her or whatever. Yeah.
Right. Uh-huh. So none of that ever showed anything. And then also when police obtained Brittanee's cell phone records, it showed that Brittanee was moving in one direction and Peter was in a completely direction. They were going opposite directions. Mm-hmm. So he was cleared after that. Now, the first ping from Brittanee's cell phone after that last text message that she sent John was her heading south. And then 15 minutes later, she pinged again on another cell tower. And she was still moving south. And she was moving fast. They were able to conclude really fast that she was in a car.
Or
su celular was in a car somewhere. And the last ping was at 11:58 p.m. And it was off a tower near the north side of Santee River, which was about 50 miles away.
Oh, shit.
From Myrtle Beach, which was close to, it's in Georgetown County. So it's a completely different county now.
Okay.
And esta área, they were like, what the fuck's her cell phone doing over there? Because this area was country area, swampy. It was really hard to get to. It was super rural and isolated. It was infested with like alligators.
Oh, I don't fuck with the alligators. You know
snakes, wild boars, just shit ton of insects, giant ass insects. They say that the flies were like this big.
Ahí andaba el pinche lion tiger.
Hercules
andaba ahí el compa.
So I think, and they even say they're like, when they told us that her phone pinged here, that it was then that they thought that something happened to her. Like something actually did happen to her now.
Because at this point they were still thinking, oh, pues se subió al carro, somebody,
or she's in Myrtle
ran
Beach,
away,
right?
whatever.
She was in the city, but in esta área, you're like, that this area was kind of like fishermen. There's like a dock for boats, just fishermen. I think it was like a shrimping community.
I mean, you couldn't even like get through there. You had to know how to get there.
Yes,
okay,
exactly.
Okay.
Exactamente. So a search starts there, and that's, like I said, it was a really hard area. They had to search on horses. They said that they had to have guns to kind of keep like the wild boar off of them.
I'm not fucking with no fucking boars, bro.
Yeah.
Not today. No, ma'am.
They were And I think now they had three
Los
different...
pinches jabalines. Son los pinches jabalines,
Yes.
bitch. Fuck that.
And since the case was like now in 3 different jurisdictions, it was 3 different police departments that everybody was helping search for her. And they didn't have search and rescue dogs. They had cadaver dogs. So it was kind of like...
They already kind of knew what was going on.
Yeah, like what was the possibility, ¿verdad? They were on ATVs, boats, helicopters, like the whole shebang.
The whole fucking bit.
The whole enchilada.
No, hombre, estaba todo ahí, toda la raza andaba ahí.
But nothing.
Nothing.
Of
course, because why would we have a case that would just be like, okay, it's over, guys, she's fine.
And in Myrtle Beach, tampoco nothing. Nobody saw anything. Nobody knew anything. But they were, at first in Myrtle Beach, there were people that were calling in and saying that they had seen Brittanee. Like there were sightings of Brittanee, that they saw her like on a bus or something. Pero cuando encontraron a la muchacha that they were saying that looked like Brittanee, that girl just looked like Brittanee. And she said, yeah, it was me that was on this bus, but
it doesn't mean that it was Brittanee. Okay,
yeah, but they tracked that girl down and it wasn't Brittanee. So nothing.
Well, good job for whoever was out there calling that, because you know what? That could have made a big difference.
Yeah.
It wasn't her, obviously, pero que buena onda que la gente was like, oh, it looks like her.
Yeah,
yo estoy bien pendeja, güey.
Yeah.
Yo estoy bien estúpida. Like, I would be like, it kind of looks like her, but is it her? And then my anxiety would kick in.
Or like when you get like a... Like
and what if I get her in trouble? You know?
When you get like an Amber Alert that a kid goes missing, I'm like, and I look at it, I'm like, okay, it's this type of car and this type of license. And then when I'm driving, I'm just like... like I forget, you know,
singing fucking Bad Bunny and shit. Like I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
not that I don't give a fuck. It's just I don't pay attention like that.
Yeah, like you. So this happened. No encontraron nada, and the family had to return back to Rochester without Brittanee.
Mm-hmm.
Ya pasó tiempo, and you know they were always looking for her.
¿Cuánto pasó, güey? Como
it
que
was
un
like,
mes?
Yeah, it was like a good chunk of time. I think her dad, John, I mean, obviously, I'm sure they went back and forth because, you know, the kids were over there and Brittany's friends. But I think her John, her dad's, her biological father ended up saying like that they were like down there for like a good 3 months.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pobrecita, dude.
Yeah.
Ay, qué cosa tan horrible. And then like, I mean, and then there's times where you're like, in times like this, that you're like, fuck, man, like, is this why we have to keep our children in a fucking kennel?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, what do you...
Not technically, right? But, you know.
Not like, it was a figure of speech.
Just more strict.
But, like, more strict? I mean, what do you do? Like, this is crazy. Because just something happened that quick to someone.
Like, that's the thing. Like, it's on a strand. Like, how does nobody see anything?
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, nobody. If you know where that's from, you know.
So in December of that same year, a tip comes in,
mm-hmm.
and they don't say what kind of tip. It's just that the search and rescue team or whatever that goes back out to that area and starts searching again.
Mm-hmm.
And there, I think it's the second day of that search, cuando there's like a couple que llega en su barco, and I think they were looking for like firewood or something, and they find a pair of glasses.
Mm-hmm.
So by this time, everybody was aware of Brittanee. She was all over the news, and that couple que encontró los glasses had heard that there was somebody there searching for a missing girl. So they're like, okay, we found these glasses. Están buscando una muchacha que se desapareció. Maybe this is like...
Has something to do with it. Yeah, uh-huh.
So they turned in the glasses. Dawn dice que esos glasses look like some that Brittanee had gotten that same month, like around Easter. John, her boyfriend, dice that he had never fucking seen those glasses in his life. And they test the glasses for DNA, pero no tiene nada. Like, they don't find anything. And even then, the glasses didn't look like they would have been out there 8 months. You know, they look like, no, they weren't like that dirty.
They were sunglasses?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No.
Sorry, I should have said that. Sunglasses, yeah.
Pero, like, yeah, that's kind of hard because with sunglasses, like, they could have fell out somebody else's boat.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. There were other people there.
Y luego también at the same time, you know, as a mom, you want to see something that's not there.
Yeah.
Pero, I mean,
because you just want to find something. It had been like 8 months by this point.
Because her mom still thinks she's out there alive.
Yeah, Dawn said that for like the first year, she's like, I had hope for like the first year. And I think that's all you can do, you know, search and at that keep time, the hope.
You know, human trafficking wasn't that bad, but I mean, now it's like, fuck, it's everywhere. It's like, you know, maybe back then she was like, maybe they just have her somewhere encerrada.
Yeah, and a lot of people
you know?
did think que también because she was so pretty, that was like a possibility that she had been taken for human trafficking because, you know, she had blonde hair and she, like her pictures show her with like big old blue eyes, but she would wear contacts. Her actual eyes were brown, but she was born with like an eye disease. I forgot the name, but one of her eyes would wander like to the side. So she would wear like prescription eyes.
Tenía un ojo virulo, pues.
Yeah. So the contacts that were prescribed would help her with that. And then there were blue, but if you see her, like pictures of her, just bright blue eyes, tiny blonde. So it was like they thought that, like the parents and families thought that, but the police didn't really think that was a possibility because
of the fact that you always see people like on TV and shit que se llevan las little blonde muchachas con colored eyes. You don't really see them que se lleven a las morenitas, or anything
and
like
then
that.
One of the officers or the investigator said that at the time,
not morenitas, but darker skinned girls. Yeah.
Que at the time that Myrtle Beach wasn't known for or that big of like a human trafficking scene. I'm sure it's changed now.
I'm sure.
Has everywhere.
Everything has changed.
But then he also said that victims of human trafficking, as always, a lot of people have like language barriers, which kind of makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But that was like a thought that they had también. Now, the first big break in the case wouldn't come until 2016.
Wow.
Yes.
Bitch, that's a long time.
Yeah. And an inmate named Taquan Brown.
Okay, Taquan.
Who was serving a 25-year sentence for an unrelated case, told investigators that he knew what happened to Brittanee because he witnessed it.
And where were you, Taquan? Where were you before?
And he said that he saw Brittanee more than once.
What the fuck?
On multiple occasions.
You see this bullshit?
So hold on to your chongas. Okay?
Okay, first of all, he is not the bad bitch of the fucking story.
No, he's not.
Fuck this Taquan. Fuck you, Taquan.
Did you hold on to your calzones, guys?
I don't have any. I'm just kidding.
Taquan dice that the first time he saw Brittanee was at a stash house, like a trap house. In McClellanville on April 27th. So 2 days after she disappeared, right? This stash house was close to where Brittanee's phone last pinged. So that fit.
Okay.
Right, where McClellanville was close to Georgetown County, which...
Okay.
That's the different jurisdictions that started coming in.
Yeah.
So that's where that stash house
by where the river was.
Yes.
At. Okay.
Yes. He said that he saw Brittanee there and that she was, it's going to sound really bad, but that she was gang raped by 8 to 12 men. And leading the rape was a man named Timothy Deshaun Taylor and his dad, Sean Taylor. And he said that Timothy had kidnapped Brittanee and had taken her to that stash house. The second time he saw her was a few days later at the same trap house, stash house, y que vio que Brittanee trató de correr de la casa and that she made it outside, pero que 4 guys caught up to her and they pistol whipped her and then they dragged her back inside. And then that a short time later, que Taquan dice que he heard gunshots and that he just assumed that she was dead, that they had shot her because she had tried to run away. And that as he was getting in his car to leave. This is so sad,
dude. This is so sad because I was thinking the whole time that somebody had just got her, maybe hurt her for one time y la matan, but when they repeatedly do stuff to her, like
keep her alive and then just torture her.
Oh my God, this is too much. It's already making my stomach hurt.
So then he says that, estaba fuera, he was going to leave when he saw 2 of the guys, que salieron de la casa with like a rolled up carpet. And that he thought that she was rolled up in the carpet and they were going to go dispose of her body because pusieron la carpeta atrás of the truck. And then he left.
I'm in shock. My calzones are not strong enough for this.
5 days later after that, he says that when he went to go visit one of his cousins at his house, I guess it was like another stash house, trap house situation. It was like, again, in another rural area, but it was about 80 miles from that first stash house.
So they have her traveling?
He said that he saw Brittanee at his cousin's house. Y que when he got there, she was alive. So when he heard gunshots before...
He didn't know what that was.
He didn't know what that was, but back then he just assumed that they had shot her. But no, he's like, I saw her here. She was alive. He said that he saw Brittanee was taken to the wood, like a wooded area by that same place, close to the property. It was like on the property line. Y que a group of men and identified one of these men as Nate. And that he saw Nate shoot Brittanee with a double-barrel shotgun 2 times. That they needed to get rid of her because her case was picking up and she was all over the news. So they needed to get rid of her already. When he saw that she was shot, he just left.
But why? Taquan.
Now, it's also reported that he also said, I don't know where in the times that he saw Brittanee, but he also says that after whichever time Brittanee, after she was killed, her body was dumped in alligator-infested waters.
I'm not surprised.
Because they're all over.
They're all over. Yeah. That I can believe. But my deal is, why the fuck are you I know.
He's
I
serving
know
25
why.
years for I think a manslaughter or some shit. Or like a murder charge.
But why? I just don't understand. Like it just okay. Keep going. I'm pissed.
I mean, what Taquan was saying, I mean, phone records kind of align where locations that he was talking about, right? Mm-hmm. And also another inmate corroborated.
What? Also, they were all in jail together, friends and shit.
So another inmate corroborated to the FB because now the FB's involved, right?
Uh-huh.
So Timothy Deshaun Taylor becomes their prime suspect. And he gets questioned by the FB. And he tells them that he did not kidnap Brittanee, that he had nothing to do with her disappearance.
Of course.
He also says that the only thing that he knows about her case is what he's seen on TV, because she was all over the news. He takes a polygraph test and fails it. But we all know polygraph tests aren't shit. Yeah, I could fucking fail a polygraph test.
I could probably fail. I fail everything else in life, so myself. No, but for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The FBI were like, okay, he knows something. Timothy knows something. So we need to get him to talk. We need to figure out a way to get information out of him. In 2011, so a couple of years back, we're going back. Timothy was the getaway driver for a robbery at a McDonald's, which left an employee shot. They got caught, and the state brought charges against Timothy for that, which he pleaded guilty to and received 18 months probation. Well, in unusual circumstances, the FBI decided to bring federal charges, not state charges, federal charges against Timothy for that same robbery back in 2011.
Okay.
And they wanted to just kind of put pressure on him, like scare him into talking about Brittanee, because
to see if it was
because
sacarle la pinche sopa.
Because if he these federal charges against him stuck, he could face up to 10 years to life in prison. Yeah. And I'm sure they could fucking find a way to make that happen, right? If they wanted to. But Timothy, he was like, I don't give a shit. I didn't do it. He was doing interviews. He was talking to fucking Dr. Phil and shit.
Not Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil. Other, news stations telling them that he didn't know Brittanee. He did not kidnap Brittanee, and he doesn't know what happened to her. And, I mean, we know Brittanee estaba chiquita. She was little but mighty. But unless Timothy had help from someone else, I don't think he would have been able to kidnap her because he only had one arm, which he lost it in an accident when he was 4.
Okay.
I mean, if we want to it's possible that he could have had help, right?
Could have, of course. Yeah, that has nothing to do. Just because you have one arm, no quiere decir que estás inválido. I mean, you can still fuck. See? No, let's move on.
But I don't know, right? And he also said that, I don't know who the fuck this Taquan Brown is. He was like, I never met him in my life.
I'm pissed.
This information that the FBI had on Timothy obviously was not enough to charge him with anything related to Brittanee.
Well, technically, no. Honestly, let's be honest.
There's nothing. Yeah. So the case kind of stalled again.
Yeah.
Again. Now, in 2019, a new group of FBI agents get assigned to Brittanee's case. And they start back up from square one.
Dude, that's crazy to me. Like, let's think about it. I know that, the cops aren't they're good.
Law enforcement.
But law enforcement, you imagine how many open cases there is out there.
Oh, cold cases.
That's so fucking crazy to me.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
go ahead. Like I said, they started back from square one, looked through all evidence, looked through all suspects, all leads that came in. Because, sometimes when you get a fresh pair of eyes on something, you notice something that other people might not have noticed.
We're all human.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all human.
We all happen.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So they look over a suspect that they had looked into back in 2011 from Brittanee's case. So in 2011, 2 years after her disappearance, police were obviously still working on her case, releasing what they could, but always keeping a lot, close to the chest, Y estaban siguiendo leads that would come in, all types of leads, right? And one day, an investigator searched up sex offenders in the area. As you should. Wherever you live, busca sex offenders in your area, especially if you have kids. Just saying.
Same.
They pull up several, of course, in the area because gross. And there's one in particular that at that time, they focus on. Raymond Moody.
Okay.
And this Raymond Moody, he's a gross man. Beyond garbage. Disgusting.
A demon.
Because this sex offender, Raymond Moody, was a convicted sex offender who had been sentenced to 40 years in prison for sexually assaulting young girls and kidnapping.
40
years, and the youngest one was 8.
Motherfucker.
That's fucking nasty.
Disgusting bastard.
Disgusting bitch. He's gonna poof.
He's poofing for sure.
Poof. Into the void.
Void.
Into the void.
You're gonna be nothing, motherfucker.
He was fucking released, Barbie.
Why?
Halfway through his sentence. He only served 20 years.
What the fuck?
He only served 20
Why?
years.
Oh, because our system
is fucking shit.
Our system in this country is shit.
I just don't understand why people that do things to kids get released. I don't know why it isn't automatically life in prison. I don't understand.
But I mean, let's be realistic. It's costing money. It costs money to keep them in there.
Keep it. I mean, that's shit. I'll give my tax dollars already go to that anyway. Keep all fucking sex offenders against kids in prison for the rest of my life. Their lives.
Completely agree. Because you know what? If you do it once, you're going to do it again.
I don't think that can be fixed.
No, that can't be fixed.
Personally, that's my opinion.
Yeah.
So like I said, this girl's man was released after only serving 20 years and was living like near Myrtle Beach at that time that Brittanee went missing. And it just turned out that on April 26th, which is the next day after she disappeared, he was pulled over in the area of Myrtle Beach for a traffic violation. Mm-hmm. Okay. Police, they were like, okay, he could be a suspect. We're going to look into him. Back at that time in 2011, they got a search warrant and they went to Raymond's Canton, where he was staying at, which was a motel called Sunset Ridge. And Sunset Ridge was close to the area where Brittanee's phone last pinged.
Okay.
So they tear through Raymond's room. I mean, literally turned it on its head, took off wallpaper and shit.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Cut open mattresses and shit.
Fuck you, bitch.
Yeah.
Cut up all the mattresses. I don't give a fuck.
They looked. They didn't find anything.
Nothing.
Nada. Cero. Silich. Niet.
Che madre.
And now, like I said, new agents are reviewing the case. Advancements in technology, help.
Definitely help a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Crack this case wide open in 2022, maybe 2021 también. An arrest was made on May 4th of 2022. That was my throat. Sorry.
That was, I don't know what the fuck that was.
Raymond Moody was arrested in Georgetown County on obstruction of justice, and his bond was set at $100K. And I know you're thinking, obstruction of justice? Why, right? Well, they said that that was just kind of like a holding charge.
They always do that.
Until they can complete their investigation, so they could really nail his ass for, whatever it is that they needed to do.
So what did they find?
They had cell phone data that placed Raymond at the exact same place and time of Brittanee's phone. Also, there was a security camera, the one that she was walking at, that kind of caught, they could enhance it now in today's modern technology, enhanced video footage, and they could see that it was a car that resembled Raymond Moody's vehicle. That was that night that
around the area.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm assuming that whatever else they had on him, se lo presentaron, and they're like, "Look, motherfucker, this is what we have on you.
What do you got?
What do you know?"
Mm-hmm.
He confessed to murdering Brittanee Drexel.
Motherfucker. So this mother. Okay. Rewind real quick before you go into it. He was in jail
for 20 years.
So remember, we're gonna go back. You guys, the cops let him go.
The prison system.
The prison system let him go.
20 years.
20 years.
Out of 40.
And now he's at this place where this young woman, or young girl, because she was a baby to me, is fucking walking randomly down the street.
Back to her hotel. Well, she had walked that walk already. She knew where she was going, right?
She wasn't lost.
No.
So
we're gonna find out.
Keep going, because I'm
I need to know.
I'm lit.
Okay, so on the night of April 25th, Raymond somehow got Brittanee into his car, because that's what they can conclude.
That's the only thing you can think of.
Yeah, she got in his car voluntarily. Yeah. Now Dawn dice, she was like, Brittanee hated walking, and I'm sure she had already.
I would have been caught. I would have been caught, because I'd be like, do I have to walk
again? Because she just got there, right?
Not only
she had just walked there.
If her friend Jennifer was her name,
yeah,
le está hablando que los pinches chores y que la verga. I would have me personally,
I would have been like, bitch, you have to wait, because I'll give them to you. You wanted them to come pick them up.
No, pero if me personally, me knowing that I have to ride with these people back to my home, I'd be like, you know what? I don't want to deal with this shit. Let me just get there quickly. Mm-hmm. That's what I would have thought.
And then I'll just walk back.
And then I'll just walk back. Yeah.
So they said Dawn that that's what she thinks that's what happened. Okay. She didn't want to walk back She was like, I'll just get a ride real quick. And they said that the drive was like a 4-minute drive if you were driving. Like, not give it like 5 minutes. So the point is, she got in the car. And then she noticed shit started going down immediately. And I think she noticed that, she wasn't in like...
A good situation. He drove her to the Santee River, where her phone last pinged. There he raped her and then strangled her. But Brittanee fought for her life. Like, she was a soccer player. She was little by mighty. She was hardcore. Like, she could handle herself. Yeah. Good for her. You know what? Because when Raymond was pulled over on April 26th, back in 2009, he was full of scratches. Like, he was bald, so su head had scratches, his face, his neck. Que bueno. I hope he fucking dies, motherfucker. And after he strangled her, after he murdered her, he then drove her body. Pero es que he probably raped her, and then he got pissed that she was fighting back. And maybe strangled her. Maybe strangled her, yeah. So after he killed her, he drove her body past Sunset Ridge, where he was staying at, his residence. And his motel, and drove past a wooded area and buried her there. And it was like 2.5 miles from where he was staying, which was the police searched Sunset Ridge. Fucking do you imagine how close they must have been the whole time? The whole time, bitch. So it's crazy to me. After he confessed to murdering her, he then led them to that location where he says that he buried her. Sorry. I need to learn how to take that fucking noise off. On May 12th, the police announced that they had found human remains. Oh my God. And on May 16th, dental records confirmed that it was Brittanee. Finally, after 13 years. 13. And this was this year. Dude, I'm so happy that the police was once again, they open old cases and they keep them open and they're still looking into it. And but all it's true, stuff. Like advancement in technology, when you can't figure out then, it's going to come a time where we're going to find out. He probably thought he got away with it. Oh, for sure. He was like, they're looking at Taquan. Yeah, abriendo la boca. Abriendo la boca. I'm fucking Dr. Phil and shit. You and Dr. Phil and stuff. And Raymond immediately was charged with kidnapping, rape, murder, and the murder of Brittanee Drexel. Can we kill him, please? Somebody kill him. He pleaded guilty, so I mean, there wasn't going to be a trial. There's not going to be a trial. And he was sentenced to life in prison. And at the sentencing, I didn't even want to say what he said, but it just sounds so fucking like fake as fuck. Say it. He said, "Act like you're a man." I don't know. I never heard his voice, so I don't know. But I'm gonna be like, I don't have the words to express how horrible I feel. And how I felt ever since that day. I am very, very sorry. Shut the fuck up, fucking lying ass. First of all, you're fucking lying. You're a fucking liar. And not only that, you give no fucks. Because if that was the case, you wouldn't have been doing that. But imagine how many other girls he's tried to fucking assault since then, or even if he fucking did assault other people. Yep. So you know what? This is the cops' fault. They let him out. Not the cops, the justice system. This is so fucking crazy. What did her mom say? Like, was her mom happy that they brought her home? Yeah, her remains were turned over to her. I guess I think that my whole deal, like I haven't had a loss like that, and hopefully Dios quiera que no, pero my whole deal is like, if you have a body that you can bury and that you can go and visit, then at least you know that they're home, you know? And that's the thing, after Brittanee's remains were turned over to her family, so she could finally be laid to rest, Dawn said that she wasn't going to bury her because she had been in the ground for too long already. That she was going to cremate her and she was going to keep her. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. But I'm happy that 13 years. She got justice. This was a good story. Yeah. And that's the case of the murder of Brittanee Drexel. But pull her up and pull up this motherfucker. He looks scary. He looks like he's trash. Like, no, beyond trash. It's like beyond help. Like beyond assistance from the Lord and stuff. I don't know. He's going to be poofed. He's going to poof immediately. Immediately. He's a piece of pile of shit. I don't know how he's still here. It's like he's like beyond stuff. Like beyond shit, beyond trash. All those type of people. Dude, what the fuck? This is crazy. I just don't understand why. That's my deal. Like, why? But that's the whole thing. Is like, if she just would have waited. Like, not only that, but why the hell? Well, I was gonna say, why didn't they follow up with him if he was all scratched up. Like, I would have been like, okay.
But he just got pulled over for a traffic violation, right? Like,
yeah.
That was like.
But, I mean, I don't know. I guess everybody pay attention to the sex offenders around in your homes. Be careful with your kids and don't let them out your house. That's where we're at right now in 2022. She's so beautiful. I just saw a picture of her. Oh, my God. Mm-hmm. She's so beautiful.
She was tiny, right?
She was really tiny. Yeah. Not only that, but
look at Raymond's Moody. It's crazy.
No, I don't want fucking bastard. He ain't got no fucking eye, bitch.
I think he was like, he probably got in a fight or some shit. Mira, aquí anda el puto.
Ay, desgraciado, perro maldito.
Alrighty, guys. Well,
this is a sad one. This is really sad. And
it's again going back to like, it's crazy because, I mean, we've all been there. Like, we all telling our parents that we're somewhere where we're actually at another place, and you don't ever think something's going to happen to you or somebody that you know. So,
and not only that, but like the whole thing of her friend was pressuring her to give her shorts back. So then she's probably like, let me just get over there quickly so I can come back and do what I was doing with my friend.
It was the last night. Dude. And they were supposed to go home the next day. They were
supposed to go home the next day. She was going to see her mom.
Yeah.
Not only that, pero like, I just feel like she got into the situation over shorts. You see what I'm saying? It's like the stupidest thing.
But that's like the
thing. But back
like,
in the day, or back in whenever you're young, those things are important.
Like you see,
your friends are important. You're worried about your friends.
And you think that you're like, oh, I just walked here. I'm just going to go give her the shorts. I just came. What's going to happen to me? There's a whole bunch of people around. ¿Qué me va a pasar? I'll be right back.
A man like that's going to be in your way.
That's the thing. Things happen in a blink of an eye.
Dude, that's crazy. Thank you so much for telling us this story. But if you want to listen to more, please follow us and
go check out the rest of the episodes.
Check out the rest of the episodes. Thank you for everybody that's been listening.
We appreciate you.
We do appreciate you. And not only that, but we might get another special guest soon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So
we'll see.
Well, because the special guest is Vanessa. And not only that, but the special guest is like, you need to have me back on your podcast.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you guys so much. Listening. Please follow us at Cafecito and Crime Pod or
on Instagram, or you can send us an email at cafecitoandcrimepod@gmail.com. Right?
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Bye.